This is the Ritchie Brothers auction site at Nisku, Alberta, near Edmonton. This is quite possibly the world's largest auction site, and they've set records for size of auction, some of up to 12,000 lots plus. This one's a little smaller auction than they can have, but there's still lots here. And I'm just running through quick. I'm not gonna do results or anything. Just gonna run through quick because I can't possibly begin to do this place justice. I can't possibly catch even if I run through everything quickly. I can't even get even a third of it or a tenth of it. It's huge. I'd say this is the close to 200-acre sale site here. And there's stuff wherever you look. This is a massive auction site. I've been here several times in my life. This is the first time I've attempted to do a video preview. So let's see what's here. Here's a John Deere 820. This is an older restoration, but everything seems perfect. That's nice and straight. Good tires on the front and the back. This one they extended the rims. These are 18.434s, which they should have, but the rims are probably for 16.9. Looks nice. It's a nice old John Deere. It's got a 6-volt battery, so it's starting the engine. It's a nice old John Deere for somebody anyways. It's got a Chrysler generator on it. It's not the original generator. Here's a 375 Excavators. This is a huge machine. Huge machine. The tracks aren't real wide on the big cats, but this has got a U-blade. You can put a top on it. That U-blade's probably 7 feet high. This is a minimum of D10 size, maybe an 11. Look at the corner bits on this thing are 2 inches thick, and it looks like everything's brand new, cutting edges and corner bits. This is quite a machine. Nice big machine, but here's a couple of D8 keys. You know, I ran D8s all my life. My D8s, I normally run their D8Ks. I have no desire to own one of these. I don't. This one's these are the LGP. They're wide pad ones for working in soft ground. Here's another D8T. Newest machine I'd be interested in is a D8R. If I continue on with the business. Yeah, these be nice to run, don't get me wrong, but I like to be able to repair my stuff. I really do. D8Ts, there's another one. This is a new D7, and it's almost as big as the 8 actually. These aren't much less cat than that. Here's a D7R, the LGP. Look at there, it's got new pads on it. I don't know about the rails, I haven't checked them, but it's got new pads. D7R, would I own one of these? Maybe. But this one's got lots of corrosion. Like, they just painted over the old paint. It looks good from a distance, but it's not a good paint job. John Deere crawler, 850. Another John Deere, probably about the same size. 850. Yeah, these aren't much less than a D8K, I don't think, for size. Well, I think they are about 7 size, maybe. 71 Komatsu. Look at it, a big line of Komatsus here. '71. These 71s are good size. The Komatsus are a good brand too. I like Caterpillar. Caterpillar's my favorite brand, but These are a good machine too. There's nothing wrong with Komatsu either. These are all D71 Komatsus, and the whole pile of them, the whole fleet of them. D71 PXI, there are all kinds of them. Now here's a Lieber machine. This is at least D8 size right here, or maybe even closer to a 9. Here's a new D6. This is the new model. It's just straight D6. They don't suffix them anymore. So these, it's fairly new. These are pretty new machines to be at an auction sale, honestly. Like these things didn't come out till like 2023 or something like that. Another D6. I'm not gonna go through these. I just gotta walk by this D6T. This is the little older one, but I've heard lots of good things about the D6Ts actually. Like me personally, the T series just has a little bit too much for electronics to suit me. But they'd be nice. These would be nice machines to run, though. You gotta give them that. They'd be nice machines to run. And if you had to go big into a big business, you just don't have to go in new equipment. You can't run 50-year-old stuff like we do anymore in the big work. But there's D6 right here, D6. This one's got new pads on it. It's got a complete new undercarriage. That's worth a lot. Right there, that's worth a lot. Another D6T. Another D6T. Another one. I've heard good things about these. I can't say anything bad. I know the 8Ts are troublesome when they first came out, but I think they corrected a lot of that. But it's quite an impressive row of stuff. Row of side booms, John Deere, for pipeline lining. These are just small ones. They got 6-way blades on them. Would be handy too. And pipe layers lift a lot. And there's more over here. D5G, that's something I'd be interested in without the side boom stuff on it. Here's either IH or dresser. It's got dresser decals. Looks like an IH engine. That looks like a 239. This is a dresser crawler TD8. I'm pretty sure this is a 239 engine or something like that. 246 maybe. Another TD8. I heard that the TD8s and TD9s take the same undercarriage. Yeah, I think these are 350 or 239 engines or something like that. Here's another side boom, D5H LGP. Now this is a real cat. This is a, well, this is actually 561D. It's not D6D, it's actually D5B. What they have for a crawler under it. There's a naturally aspirated, or they're kind of a hybrid. They have the naturally aspirated engine, because these are 3306, and the rest of the cat is D6. I'm not sure how they go, but I think these are 5 actually, the same as the 5B. This is an actual D6D as a side, with a side boom kit on it. Probably a 4X. Another D6D with side boom. Another D6D. Another D6D. We sold our D6D because the work we didn't get much work for it, but D6Ds are good cats. I like them a lot. Another D6D with side booms. He'd be handy. You can lift pretty much anything you need with just the D6D. Here's a Caterpillar. This one looks like this one's a 7G here. Friend of mine wants, I don't know if this is the one he wants to look at. I know if this is an actual 572 or a 6D or 7G, I mean. That's a 7G. Got good undercarriage on it. It's worth a lot. Yeah, that's a nice cat. It's got new undercarriage. If someone takes enough of a machine to put new undercarriage on, it's probably good. These are a good machine. Like a lot of guys like these 7Gs. I find them nose light for dozing or even on the scraper. I prefer my D8s. I like my D8s. I like a 9.2. Here's a 572F, which is it's built as a pipe layer, but it's a D7F underneath. And look at the undercarriage is good on this too. Here's a 72F. This is D7F here. Another D7F. New undercarriage on it too. Here's a row of articulating trucks. Row of lizards articulating dump trucks. That's something I really have no desire to own. To the crawlers. These are John Deere. These are little guys with 6-wave blades. D5K. 2 of them. Which one would I'd go for a D5G, honestly, if it was me, because I want to stay away with the emissions. Would I own one of these? Definitely. Well, these 6-wave blade outfits, they are the cat's ass. Like our D6, I like our D5 or D3C a lot. Although I'd go to the G, I think the one with least electronics, but that's just me. Now these 6-wave blades are handy. 650 John Deere. Here's a high drive. It looks like about D5H or D5. It's got differential steer on it. Yeah, one of these wouldn't be bad either. It's got sweeps on everything. 6H. He'd be a good little cat too. $39 Komatsu. Another 6K. Like that. 61. Look at all the trucks here. D6N. D6R would be a good crawler. Another 6R. Another 6N. 6-wave blade machine needs to be handy actually. Although a 6R would be the way I'd go, as opposed to N, I'd go to the R. If it was me. There's quite a lot of stuff here. Another 6N, another 6N. Another 6N. There's a pile of these machines here. Here's a line of trucks, and if you haven't had enough trucks, there's a whole row of trucks there too. I'm not gonna go through all them. I will never own one of those. I guarantee you, I'll never own one of those. Lots of nice graders there though. Not gonna go through them either. Here's some big hose right here. 870, 87 metric ton, I think that means Hitachi. Big hoe. There are lots of excavators here. Yeah, since they don't suffix the stuff anymore, you don't know what you're getting. 330 hoe, cat hoe. .365 CL, that's the pipeliner's hoe. That's a big bugger too. Oh, it's already got a certain technology, which I'm not a big fan of, but that's just me. There's a big skidder, some skidders there. And feller bunchers, the excavators, they're just a lot of everything. Here's some John Deere combines, these are all X9s. They have 1100 and 1000. I don't know if the 1000's a class 10 and the 1100's a class 11, so I don't know, but they're big outfits. They got things tore apart on this one. The S790 is what this one is. It's a class 9 combine. There's lots of big things here. Ritchie's is one of the few auctioneers that actually do, these are all typed online anyways, but these are one of the few auctioneers that still go to live auctions on equipment, and they don't do much of it anymore. Here's some New Holland Class 9 combines, CR 9.9. Big 1090, so this is a Class 10. This is like your AF 10 size. They made these so big. They've all been used, but these are big machines. $95.60. Quad track. Here's a big Johnny 9510. Another big 9510 John Deere. I don't think that row of stuff is part of the auction. There's some, I could be wrong, but I don't think it is. Got a 7R290. These are all new tractors pretty much. 210. It doesn't look like this tractor's done a lot. Another 7R210. New Holland. $61.95M. There's lots of big stuff here. I'm not gonna do a results video. There's some 8230 Case IH combines back there. 61, there's a couple New Hollands. 6130 John Deere, 6130R. There's a Massey. The Kubota. JCB tractor. Whole bunch of stuff here. Massey's, there's a Case IH tractor, Maxim 140. Couple Massey's, couple looks like brand new Massey tractors. I don't think they've done much work at all. Here's a big 9530 John Deere. Friend of mine has one of these. 9330 Case IH. These look tiny compared to that, but for a farmer like me, this is my size of this is more my speed of tractor right here. Something like that I have absolutely no desire to own. What do you know, a 4020. This one's actually a fairly decent one too. It's got a John Deere loader. Just the very front of the hood is a little rough, but for the most part it's okay. It's got good rubber on the back. Nice tractor. This one's a power shift 4020. This is more my speed for tractors. So there you go. Here's a little Case IH Farmall 55 tractor. This'd be a nice little tractor. Be nice. This'd be a handy little tractor right here. What the heck is this? LS. Here's a 2590 Case, nice one. 8770 John Deere. Rogator 854. This is all e-marketplace. This is all online auction. This is Hitachi. Oh, Brandt is a John Deere dealer, but Brandt is a John Deere dealer, but Hitachi and John Deere are the identical excavators. So another Hitachi, looks like a new one. Another big Hitachi 870 again. These are all online auction here. Here's a John Deere filler buncher. Here's a D9. The cutting edges have been turned, but it looks like a fresh turn D9R. D70, these are kind of a pig in the poke, I think, but some may like them. Here's a D8K pipe layer. This is actually an actual 583, I think. Well, it might have been converted from a D8K. Yeah, it's Midwestern, it is a D8K. Here's another D8K. This looks like this is a Henusset built pipe layer, I think. Oh no, it's 78V. It's a proper Caterpillar pipe layer. Another D8K, another 583. There's lots of D8Ks here. Yeah, and you see, the proper pipe layer uses cartridge filters, and 8K uses spin-ons tip. I know some. Another 583, and this one's got a spin-on filter though. Another 583. Although I think this is a D8K, they converted into a 583. With the winch, I can't see the serial number to confirm that. D6T, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. You look at that look at that truck. Here's a Kenworth all-wheel drive. It's a water tanker, but it's a big all-wheel drive. Lots of big stuff here. Lots of trucks. This is all an online auction, this stuff. Ritchie Brothers e-marketplace. There you go. The marketplace E. This is for, well, this is CP truck, I think. High railer. Here's an old Hayes truck. These are an old truck, but this is a nice one. Like it's restored, kind of. Like it's a nice old truck. Look at the rigging on it too. Like it's got all the rigging, all brand new rigging on it. The winch truck. This is a heck of a heavy haul truck. I don't know if it's locked or not. No, it's not. It's got twin sticks, but this is a nice old truck. This is nicely done. This is a nice old truck, this Hayes. So there you go. Here's a set of Harrows, Gates Magnum. Look at these grain carts like this on tracks. This will hold darn near what a rail car does. Like these are insane size. These are insane. At least this one, at least 2,000 bushels. This says 2,500, so it wouldn't hold quite what a rail car does, but not far from it. Look at these. These things are massive. You look at the air-seaters, they're John Deere. Great big John Deere air-seater, Bourgault, Morris. Looks like it's Brandt or something like that. Seed Hawk. These things are massive. Here's the tender for the air-seater. Like, these things are huge. They have crushers and crushers equipment here. Here's a cabin, a cute little cabin. This is, I don't know if this is open. It's not locked. It's got a little loft-in stuff. Fireplace. These are service rigs for the oil field. Look at the camp units here, just dozens of them. And here's some heavy haul rigging. There's boosters there, there's Jeeps. There's a 16-wheeler right there, 16-wheel Jeep. These are pretty heavy rigs. This one's got a tri-axle Jeep and 6 axles at the back. There's no deck on it, just a heavy haul rig. Real heavy haul rig. Here's an even heavier haul rig. Real heavy haul rig. 16. 32. Yeah, it's an Aspen trailer they built right close to here, actually. 48. 64-wheel trailer right here. And here's a drawbar to be pushing with an extra truck, so it's to be pulled and push this outfit. And there's more heavy hauling rigs right here. You got the Jeeps and boosters and stuff. These are real heavy trailers here. Here's an Aspen trailer set up. This is a 16-wheel Jeep and a 16-wheel trailer. Here's a nice 16-wheel low bed right here. Real nice one. If I stayed in the cap business, I may be forced to own one of these one day as our trucker retired, but I hope not. I don't want to do the trucking, honestly. Here's some grain trailers, Dopkers. Dopker's a real good brand, but the problem is these are all trains so far. They're all Super B trains. And I don't really want to own a Super B train. It's part of these are gravel trailers right here. Now this is the lead of a train, and here's another train. Yeah, these are all Super B trains. These are all gravel trailers over here. Yeah, every one of these are trains. This is a dump trailer here. This is actually roll dump, I think. Here's another train, another grain train. Here's a nice trailer right here, a Timpty. This is a real nice grain trailer, from what I could see. Another Keg River trailer. Yeah, these are more American trailers. They're longer and these are plenty good enough for us. Another Timpty hopper trailer. And there's trailers just about as far as you can see on both sides. Now we're into Miscellaneous. And there's lots of it here. Oh, you know what? I've got like these are pipe grapples and stuff. Pellet forks for loaders. Here's a dozer for a D8 right here. I'm not sure if this is a D8H or a D8K one, because this arm here is a D8H arm. This one here is a D8K arm, so I don't know which one it is, but it's wore out. Seen the other days, and look at the way the frogs wore in. The wore that they'd rather buy frogs than cutting edges, so this dozer's been greatly abused. Here's a D7G or D6D twin tilt dozer. Here's the C-frame. This is a D88 C-frame right here. This one's got this one's off the 7G. Oh, that's an 8 one too, I think. More C-frames. D8K one right here. Here's some snow wings for graders. This is for putting on a grader for snow plowing. There's all kinds of them here. Those look like truck plows right there. Here's a whole bunch of dozers here for various machines. That looks like a D6D blade right there, and these are all brush rakes for caps. This one's the D6D blade, I'm sure of it. Look at all the rippers and stuff. Here's some rollers, like this one's almost new. These are completely shot, these ones here. These bottom rollers, they're not worth putting on. Here's some track shoes. I don't know if these what size of cats they are, but 7T2390 is the part number. Extreme service pads, which I don't care for much, I'd be honest with you. They're brand new anyways. Here's a transmission. And the torque converter has something. Caterpillar. I don't know what machine this came out of though. Here's some excavator buckets there. Those are skeleton buckets, but look at there. Just a whole sea of excavator buckets. This side arm here is for offsetting implements like mowers. They keep the tractor on the road. The counties have them, and then they run their mower in the ditch, and then it eliminates the danger of upsetting the tractor. Here's a Case IH loader. I don't think this has ever been on the tractor. The John Deere loader. I'm not sure it's done any. I don't think this has done any work either. Here's a red water pump. This has got a 3406 cat on it. It's a heck of a power unit. It's got a clutch on stuff. That's a heck of a power unit. And these are one of the better engines built. Here's a 3.9 Cummins power unit right here. Here's another cat engine right here, power unit. It's got a pump on it, but it's a cat engine. Brand new batteries, that says something. That tells me that this thing's a runner. It's basically an engine. I think this is a 3406 actually. Here's a big power unit. Looks like a 3412. Another one right here, a 3412. Here's a 3306 right here. These are one of the best engines ever made right here. They're probably the all-time greatest engine ever built, probably. I would say that this is probably one of the greatest engines ever built of all time. This one's a direct injection one too. This is a D333. This is older than the 3306. This came out of a, looks like it came out of the pipe, out of a Barbara Green ditcher or something. These 333s are a good engine. They're the same thing as the 3306 pretty much. They're very similar. In fact, I think this is a 3306. Yeah, it is a 3306 because the injection pump's mounted right to the front, so this is a 3306. Here's another neat little cabin on skids. This is neat. It's got a loft on both ends of the house. Doesn't have any heating source in it, but there's the place to put it. Yeah, this is a neat little cabin. Here's a 200-ton hydraulic press, the Enerpack. I don't think this has done any work. That's a heck of a press. I don't know what this thing is. It's got lots of hydraulics on it, whatever it is. These real nice ones. This one's got some chip scratches on it, but still, for someone who doesn't do a lot of machining anymore, this is adequate. I don't know what's going on with oh, this one's got a geared tailstock. That's interesting. This one's just got a standard tailstock, but this is a good enough lathe too. Like, this one's actually a better lathe of the two. It really is. It's got quick change tool post. This one just got a square one, which I use, and the square ones work great. But if you're building stuff in a hurry, this would be a better choice. Radial arm drill press pisses me off. They have to drill on the table, but what can you do? Changer. Here's a wheel balancer. The air compressors and stuff up there, pretty much anything you can think of is here. Now that's an air compressor. The big motor with two pumps on it. Two compressors with one motor. And I bet you the 100-gallon tank, a little more than that, probably 200-gallon air tank on it. Chop saw. I think some of this is homemade, but I could be wrong, but it's a heck of a chop saw. Grinder on a pedestal. Now that's a bench grinder. This is probably a 12-inch one. Huge. Another balancer, wheel balancer. All kinds of neat tools here. Bunch of Chinese pressure washers. Message boards on. These are message boards for highways, for along highways and construction sites. Here's a genset with a cat motor, but it's a Master type pump, but I didn't realize Cat ever used that on their engines. Not sure what engine this is actually. Oh, it's made by Perkins. That's why it's different. Like Cat bought out Perkins, but it's not a true Cat engine. It's not a Cat designed engine with a genset. Genset right there. The big boy. I think this is a 3508. This is the same engine that's in the Cat D11 crawlers, the D11Ns or D11Rs. It's a 1000 kVA generator, 800 kilowatt. Yeah, that's a big motor. That's a 3508 engine. This is the 855, I think. For good old engine. This would be a good genset right here. 250 kilowatt. Cummins is a good motor. It really is. Here's all these headers right here. These are headers for all those great big combines. Just a huge lineup of them. The headers are still coming. And these are all conveyors. These are all belt conveyors. Mostly from load. These are not long ones. These are mostly just load out conveyors for hopper bins. They'd work on smaller bins, but yeah, these are huge. But there again, they're for stuff like for seeds like peas. They're certainly a lot easier on their crop than augers are. Conveyor right there, 2100, 110. So this is 110 feet long, this conveyor. Here, a 13-inch auger that's 110 feet long. Another 13 by 110. Here's a conveyor that's 15-inch conveyor that's 100 feet long. These are 100-foot long conveyor right here. And this one's 90. 90 footers, 80 footer. This stuff's all massive. Here's a Westfield auger, 13-inch auger, 84 feet. Just lots of stuff here. Trucks, here's a Western Star tandem. Smaller, just a tandem axle Sterling truck with a picker on it. Here's a tandem Tridem picker truck, a big Western Star. Another big picker truck. This is an international picker truck. Tandem. Those are vacuum trucks on that side, like picker truck, a national crane truck. Kenworth with, here's a big Kenworth. Another big Kenworth and a whole bunch of other rigs here. Wagon right here. Real nice heavy duty wagon and some bale processors. Swathers. The 9600 John Deere combine, an older combine. 8010 Case IH. New Holland. Another new. Here's a New Holland 9070. 9660 STS, so they got older combines, I guess. '9870 STS. Got some Massey combines here. Big stuff here. $8230, and $9250. The sides over the rotor on these are plastic on these newer ones, which I guess works okay, but I don't know. 8230. There's a 9250 right there. Until recently, this is a big boy. Here's the S680s. Whole pile of them 690s, all big combines. Well, there's lots of stuff there, all right. There's really nothing I have the slightest desire of owning there, really. Like, the cabins, I could see myself building a cabin at some point. 820 John Deere, I'm a red man, but I could see myself buying one at the right price. Little D5 maybe. But I have no desire, like with the farm equipment, I have no desire to farm thousands of acres. I like to do better than what we're doing now, but I have no desire to farm several thousand acres. Same with the construction. I have no desire to own a cat that I can't completely rebuild end to end by myself. I have no desire to own a machine that I need a technician to diagnose with their laptop. I have no desire for any of that. And the farm equipment was mainly gear around agribiz, and that's not me. I'm a farmer. I'm not agribiz. There's a difference. But there is some good stuff there if you are into agribiz, and if you are into farming, I'd not get a hold of it against you. If you're a big contractor or big farmer, I'm not going to hold that against you. If you want the big, latest and greatest, I'm not going to hold that against you, but I'm saying in terms of me, I have no desire to be that way. I like things lower key, that's me. Well, God bless you all. Catch you at the next one. Please like and subscribe.